Hey there, coin enthusiasts! Today, we're going to dive into the fascinating world of the 1996 1-cent coin, also known as the 1996 Denver penny. But before you start thinking this is just another penny sitting in your pocket, hold on tight. You may have a small fortune waiting for you. Stick around as we explore the rare and valuable history of this coin and why it's worth way more than its face value. Ready to discover the big secret? Let's go! The story of the 1996 penny starts with a tradition that dates back to the early 20th century. The United States Mint has been producing pennies since 1793, but by the 20th century, things got a little more interesting. In 1996, the U.S. Mint struck a large number of 1-cent coins, but what sets the 1996 penny apart from the millions of others is its mint mark. You see, the D mint mark indicates that this particular penny was struck in Denver. While the 1996 penny was one of the millions produced that year, a certain subset of these coins have gained a reputation as being rarer and more valuable. But what makes them stand out? Well, there's a twist in the story. These pennies are not just regular coins. They have a unique and elusive characteristic that makes them extremely rare. Let's uncover that next. One of the most exciting things about coin collecting is finding error coins, and that's exactly what has put the 1996 penny on the map for collectors and investors alike. Now, before you go digging through your change jar, let's explain what makes this particular penny so rare. Some of the 1996 pennies are known to have a unique error called die doubling. This occurs when the die that stamps the coins has some sort of issue during production, causing the image to be duplicated or doubled on the coin. The 1996 penny, due to this specific error, can feature a noticeable doubling of the lettering or even the date itself. Now, this might sound like a small detail, but for collectors, this is a huge deal. The error makes these pennies incredibly rare and, as a result, much more valuable than a typical 1996 penny. So, here's the million-dollar question. What's the value of a 1996 penny with this error? The answer is more surprising than you might think. While most 1996 pennies are worth just 1 cent, well, face value, a rare double die variety can sell for hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, some of these error pennies have sold at auction for amounts as high as $160 million. That's right, $160 million. It's one of the most mind-blowing coin sales in history, and it all comes down to that little error on the coin. Now, before you get too excited and start searching every corner of your house, let me break it down. Finding a 1996 penny with this specific error is extremely rare. Only a few of these pennies are known to exist, and even fewer have been sold for massive amounts. So, while it's not likely you'll find one in your pocket change, the fact that it's possible makes this coin so fascinating. Now, if you're one of those determined collectors who loves a good treasure hunt, let's talk about how you can spot the valuable 1996 penny. First, take a close look at the coin's date and lettering. The error occurs when the die was struck with an issue that caused the doubling effect. Look for the date 1996. If you see it doubled, especially at the top or the bottom of the numbers, that's your first clue. Also, examine the letters around the coin. If they seem to have a blurry or doubled appearance, this could be an error penny. One way to be sure is to get your coin professionally graded by a trusted service, like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These companies can authenticate your coin and give it a grade, which will help determine its value. So what makes this penny worth so much? Well, for starters, it's all about rarity. Error coins are incredibly sought after by collectors because they represent a mistake in production, which makes them unique. The 1996 penny with its double die error is one of those rare coins that collectors dream of finding. Rarity equals demand, and demand drives prices up. As we saw with the $160 million sale, it's clear that the 1996 penny has become one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in the numismatic world. To wrap up, the 1996 penny might seem like just another coin from your pocket change, but if you look closely and know what to look for, it could be worth a lot more than its face value. Remember, the key is spotting the rare double die error, and if you happen to find one, you could be sitting on a small fortune. While most of us will never find a penny worth millions, it's always fun to dream and keep our eyes peeled for those rare gems hiding in plain sight. So next time you pick up a penny, take a moment to inspect it. You never know what treasure you might find. Thanks for watching, and if you want to learn more about rare coins and their fascinating histories, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our next episode. Next. Hello, coin collectors and treasure hunters. You might think that the coins in your pocket are worth just a penny or two, but what if I told you that your 1997 US 1 cent coin could be hiding a massive value of $132 million? That's right. Today, we'll explore the story behind this coin, its history, and the shocking reasons it might be worth way more than face value. Stick around, because you won't want to miss this. Let's take a moment to look back at the history of the US 1 cent coin, or the penny, as it's commonly known. The penny was first introduced back in 1793, but by the late 20th century, its design had been updated several times. By 1997, the penny was still using the iconic Lincoln design, which had been in circulation since 1909. That's a long history for a humble little coin, but it wasn't until the 1997 issue that something very interesting happened. In 1997, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies, but the one we're talking about today, the 1997 penny, was produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Most of these pennies are worth just 1 cent, but, like any collectible, there's always a twist. A small number of these pennies have an unexpected rarity that gives them a value far beyond their face value. Now, before you go thinking that every 1997 penny is worth big bucks, let's take a deeper dive into what makes some of them worth so much. Like many rare and valuable coins, the 1997 penny's true value lies in a specific error that occurred during production. It's important to remember that most coins from the 1997 release were made as they should have been, but some of these pennies have a special characteristic that makes them a true collector's gem. These specific 1997 pennies are known for a rare double die error. This means that the coin was struck twice by the die, causing the design, especially the date and some of the letters, to be slightly misaligned and doubled. This is a highly sought-after error among collectors because of its rarity and the fact that it was caused by a mistake in the minting process. Collectors absolutely love error coins, and the 1997 double die penny is no exception. While not every 1997 penny has this error, those that do can fetch some impressive prices. So how much are they really worth? Let's take a look. At this point, you might be wondering just how valuable a 1997 double die penny can be. After all, the face value of a single penny is just 1 cent, right? Well, for a typical 1997 penny without the error, that's exactly what it's worth, 1 cent. But for the error version, especially those with clear and prominent doubling, it's a completely different story. Some of these rare double die 1997 pennies have been sold at auction for amounts ranging from a few $100s to thousands. And here's the kicker. One of these error coins was sold for a jaw-dropping $132 million. Yes, you heard that right, $132 million. This particular penny, due to its rare error and perfect condition, was one of the highest-selling coins in history. Imagine finding a penny in your change jar and then discovering it's worth over $132 million. That's the dream for every coin collector and treasure hunter out there. Now that you know these 1997 double die error pennies are worth big money, let's talk about how you can actually identify one in your collection or your pocket change. First things first, get a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, because you'll need to look closely at the coin's date and lettering. The double die error will typically show itself in the form of a doubling effect on the numbers of the date, and sometimes the lettering, particularly the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions. If the 1997 date appears blurry, doubled, or has a slightly offset shadow, you may have a valuable coin on your hands. It's important to remember that not every penny will have this error, so you'll need to inspect each one carefully. Here's a normal 1997 penny for comparison. Notice how the date is clear and crisp with no doubling. If you don't see any doubling or misalignment, you've got a regular penny. Now, let's talk about the importance of coin grading. Even if you think you've found a valuable 1997 double die penny, the condition of the coin plays a major role in determining its value. Coin grading is done by professional services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These organizations assess the condition, authenticity, and rarity of your coin and assign it a grade. A coin in mint condition with a clear error is far more valuable than one that is worn down, scratched, or damaged. So, if you think you've got a gem on your hands, it's a good idea to send it to a professional for grading and certification. So why is this penny worth so much? Well, the 1997 double die penny is rare, and as we know in the world of coin collecting, rarity equals demand. Error coins, especially those with visible, dramatic doubling, are highly coveted. Add to that the fact that this particular penny was sold for an incredible $132 million. Collectors are always on the lookout for unique and rare coins, and when one of these error pennies hits the market, the competition for it can be fierce, driving the price up even further. To sum it all up, the 1997 US 1-cent coin might seem like just another penny, but if you come across one with a rare double die error, you could be holding onto a small fortune. While not every 1997 penny is worth millions, those with the error are a true collector's treasure, and some have even sold for as much as $132 million. So next time you're going through your pocket change, take a second look at any 1997 pennies you come across. It just might be the lucky find you've been waiting for. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories from the world of rare coins. Last, coin collectors, history buffs, and treasure hunters. Did you know that your everyday pocket change might be hiding some serious value? Today, we're talking about the 1985 US 1-cent coin. The penny you thought was worth only 1 cent could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $210 million. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around as we dive into the fascinating history of this coin and uncover why it could be worth far more than its face value. Let's get started. Before we dive into the big money, let's first take a look at the history behind the 1985 penny. The United States Mint has been producing 1-cent coins since 1793, but by the 20th century, the design and production process had evolved a lot. In 1985, the U.S. Mint continued the tradition of producing Lincoln pennies, which had been in circulation since 1909. The 1985 penny is part of the ongoing series, with the iconic design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which had been used on the penny since 1959. Every year, the U.S. Mint produces billions of these pennies, most of which are worth just 1 cent. So why is the 1985 D penny so special? Well, it all comes down to a rare error that makes this coin incredibly valuable. Let's get into that. Like many coins, the 1985 D penny might look like an ordinary coin at first glance, but some of these pennies have a rare and extremely valuable error. This error is known as the double die error. Now, what exactly is a double die, and why is it such a big deal? A double die error happens when a coin is struck multiple times by the same die, resulting in a slight misalignment. In this case, the 1985 D penny has a doubling effect on the date and some of the lettering around the coin. If you closely inspect the date 1985 or the word Liberty, you'll notice that the letters appear doubled, giving the coin a blurry, ghost-like effect. This doubling isn't just a small mistake, it's a dramatic error that makes the coin incredibly rare. Most of the pennies from 1985 were struck without this flaw, but for those that did get this doubling, it's like finding a treasure buried in plain sight. Now, let's talk about the big money. What makes the 1985 D penny worth such an insane amount? You see, rare error coins can be worth exponentially more than regular coins, and in the case of the 1985 D double die penny, the value can reach eye-popping figures. Yes, you heard correctly. One of these rare 1985 D pennies with a double die error has been sold for a massive $210 million. That's right, $210 million. It's one of the highest values ever recorded for a single penny. So how did this happen? Well, these error coins are not only extremely rare, but they also capture the imagination of collectors who are willing to pay astronomical amounts to own a piece of history. Some of these error coins were sold at high-end coin auctions, where collectors from around the world bid to own these pieces. It's the rarity of the double die error that makes these pennies so desirable, and it's the rarity that drives up the price. So now that you know the value of a 1985 D penny with a double die error, how can you tell if you have one? Let's go through a few steps to help you identify this rare and valuable coin. First, grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. This will help you get a closer look at the date and the inscriptions on the coin. You'll want to focus on the date 1985, particularly the numbers. If you see any doubling or shadowing in the numbers, especially at the top or bottom of the digits, that's your first sign of a double die error. Next, check the word Liberty and the motto "In God We Trust." If you notice any faint doubling or misalignment in these areas as well, that's another indication that you may have found an error coin. Compare it to a regular 1985 D penny that doesn't have the error. The difference will be obvious once you start looking closely. Now, if you think you've found a 1985 D penny with a double die error, it's a good idea to get the coin professionally graded and authenticated. Coin grading services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, can assess the condition of your coin and assign it a grade. Grading is crucial because a coin's condition can make a huge difference in its value. A coin in mint condition with a clear double die error will fetch a much higher price than a worn-out, damaged coin. So, if you think your 1985 D penny is the real deal, having it graded is the best way to confirm its authenticity and market value. Why are error coins like the 1985 D double die penny so valuable? Well, it all comes down to rarity. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors because they represent mistakes made during the minting process. But more importantly, they're unique, one-of-a-kind items that can't be replicated. The fact that only a few of these pennies with the double die error exist makes them incredibly rare. When an error coin like this hits the market, collectors from around the world go into a bidding frenzy, pushing the price up to unimaginable levels. The rarity of the 1985 D penny, combined with its historical significance, is what makes it worth such extraordinary sums. So, there you have it. The 1985 D penny might look like just another coin in your pocket change, but if it has that rare double die error, you could be holding on to something worth millions. While most of us may never find a coin that's worth $210 million, it's always exciting to know that hidden treasures are out there, waiting to be discovered. Make sure to keep an eye out for those rare error coins in your change. If you think you found one, don't hesitate to get it graded. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a fortune. Thanks for watching, and make sure to hit that subscribe button for more coin stories and tips. Until next time, keep on collecting.